It tastes very sour or bitter, but I have no choice than to go by the prescribed treatment and drink everything.
I had cervical stenosis for 11 years. I visited so many hospitals across the country, but no treatment worked for me. Due to the stigma in this situation, I resorted to other means of treatment and the herbal therapy worked.
These are the accounts of some women who spoke to me on anonymity about their experiences throughout their days of childlessness to the days they realized that the stigma they have suffered for years had ended after hearing the cries of their babies. From countless hospital trips for medical attention to conceive, some women may be fortunate to get pregnant, whereas others would have to look for alternative means to conceive. Out of frustration, women who can no longer endure the name-calling of being childless begin to make inquiries about where they are likely to receive help. The stigma they face always keeps them on the move in search of help, even when they are exhausted and there is no strength left to push harder. At that moment, fingers point at various options, which include medicinal plants. And this is where the story begins. My journey to Suhum, a town in the eastern region, was one that is embarked upon daily by women who receive referrals from friends and family for plant medicine treatments to possibly help solve their infertility issues. On this journey, supposed to be a couple's affair, it turns out to be that only of the woman's journey, since the blame is always placed on the woman. At Suhum, a town noted for African traditional medicines, I met Faustina Yasewa at a herbal center with her 1.5-month-old baby. It is the center where she had most of her treatments until she conceived and finally delivered her bouncy baby boy. She tells me that her journey was not an easy one, so in order to be mentally sound, she developed a strong character to parry off hurtful comments from people who spoke about her issues with childbirth.
I visited this herbal center before I was able to get pregnant, and the herbalist took care of me till I got pregnant. I have suffered a lot due to infertility problems. The stigma is so unbearable.
For over a decade, Madame Patience Yeboah, who is the founder of the Herbal Center where Faustina underwent fertility treatment, has assisted most women with infertility issues to conceive after years of battling with fertility problems.
Since I started preparing herbs for my clients, I take the issue of infertility seriously because it can lead to broken homes.
As I say, upedrubi na awonu tumi yeden eba. Na obi wo ho nso nso a esa ne moja na enhia ne ntino eno de wo yeden awonu derma. Oba ni bitumi waro.
I will advise women with infections to seek early treatment so that it does not delay their ability to conceive.
Obi wo ho a ebia na wayi nyinsen. Nti wubu no eho abatokuro. Sa ono sa ne de mintumi yema no. If say wubu na ti say belu wuhuwa na ehu se tokuru ba ho a uhu pe na entumi hu. Na se eno nte sa na se eye bibi na esi ukwan dia mema waduro na wawo mema waduro ase yare ne be fi ho.
Women with infertility issues often visit the center in much pain. They are hurt due to the stigma attached to infertility. They need love from the family and the society.
58-year-old Patience Yeboah, who started offering the services of herbal treatment to people at an early age, said that apart from healing people with broken bones and other diseases, as a woman who knows the trauma childless women go through, she gives special attention to such women to help break free from the cycle of stigma.
I'm say, and so for now, what it a many binu? I would dear a yamina dema.
It is sad to note that it is mostly the women who bear the brunt.
Inti obu was in the back or wako ware say, as I say, woo. And yes, sir, ukwaya perqua na wow. As I say, and so no one ya but tell my one son. Sample say, oh no, buyer was on. Bomodiana fab pie boy a day, fab boy piano, so when baby a wood ya drew so buano, nay yet dan yankopon or anymore. Where she nim into way wonoma, intini biemu, bibi biemu, bon say, a baby. Hey, Yarokra, no one peduanoma, Nini Nara, the Yako. I do any.
When I get an order, I will either boil or give the herbs to my clients to prepare them at home.
As a Meti Habano, amount, no Aconiano. See ya.
This is another herbal center in Suhum where Emmanuel Abibiu works as the general manager to help people suffering from different types of ailments go through herbal treatment, especially women with fertility problems. 24-year-old Emmanuel Abibiu currently runs his father's herbal center. He tells me that most women with infertility issues who visit the facility struggle with mental health issues as they are frustrated from the stigma of being infertile, as they are always blamed for that. He spoke about some of the processes involved in preparing the herbal medicines for such women.
At this center, we use leaves such as pawpaw leaves to prepare herbal medicines for women who want to conceive. Our herbal mix is very effective, so most of our clients now have their own children. It is not easy to go through the herbal treatment procedure to conceive. What they drink is sometimes bitter, so they always need to be encouraged to go through the treatment.
Michael O'Day has worked at the center for about 10 years. He says couples who visit the center sometimes struggle to cope with the infertility crisis and its accompanying treatment. From the accounts of the clients at the center, the physical, emotional, and financial stress of infertility can be trying. He tells me,
Maba, I'm for some me need me away, move examine me. I am mo ye be.
Sir Obi Baha,
We conduct thorough medical checks before we start the herbal treatment for our client, and the doctor's report is required before we proceed with any treatment.
It's an say honey you need machine send him di kan no. Nti wudi kan kire ni nti a doctor ne say no nti wuntumi wo na fe ya pe ho aduro e de ama wo. Ehu hia say me kwa koso oyafunu mu emiamia oyafunu say oyafunu e den ana e mre. But nduro na e de be ma wo no a eno abebie sa kwan no e de ama so ma yehu ohaw ko e wo oyafunu no mu a ye ma ehu aduro na afi ye de ma wa na obekwa aba be di hu adanse obi kra di 15 years. Yeah, on way.
Infertility is not a curse. They can be treated in hospitals and also in herbal centers. I would therefore advise women going through this stage in their lives to be strong and not feel pressured from family and friends.
A client at the Herbal Center, Victoria Sean, said until she visited the Herbal Center, she endured emotional trauma for years because she was unable to conceive. Victoria said that while some couples may be lucky with conventional medicines, others, like her, were also fortunate to conceive with the use of herbal medicines.
Before I had my son, I had to deal with pressures from society, especially friends and family. The herbal treatment was successful and helped me a lot. Before I had my son, I had to deal with pressures from society, especially friends and family. The herbal treatment was successful and helped me a lot.
Menya ba atum yim ama me boy ya me adom so me nsaka me ba no edu na enwen so good pa e amba ni bia na omde ye na omde account na bia ye okay.
So how many months are now who say atom mama?
Oh, there's a 3 months to 4. Na me say me ho ay me basa bi me say atom me buy na papa hwe no ka se edem se uni ba e ma enye se bia o de abrabo no ka chi na se bia o de o nka nipa ho awo de nipa Nyankopon na de awo to nipa yem nti nso nam so a o ba bia kene ke ho no ma o Nyankopon nam won so e ma obenya oba na so ade wow nti aban na o de nti bidun de ye bidun ye.
Now, Victoria Sean says that with her 1.5-year-old son, she would not be bothered by anyone again about not having a child. She suggests that community advocacy should be intensified on the effects of stigma regarding infertility, such as perceiving victims as cursed and useless. A 2K ride of 30 minutes to Suhuma Menchia in the Eastern region, where the news team was referred to Prophet Peter Addo, well noted in the community for recommending plant medicines to people for all sorts of health conditions, especially infertility problems.
Obi opeba oba miensa baba akope na minya wo aha edemamo yeko forest na yekope eba.
There are different types of herbal treatment for women who want to conceive.
Eti we ni amenya wa na we oba opeba yema yetwitwa na yama wanua ebu obi wo a me ne de dua no kɔ na ono angasa wakɔnua ebu on so ni adaje me amenua ma no na wanom ɛno so aye so by 5 months 6 months because a process eduro bi wo a ufa na enye wadwen se wonya fa na wawo ba.
Seeking alternative treatment for infertility could be one of the possible solutions. Due to the social consequences of childlessness, infertile persons adopt several health strategies in their bid to have their own child.
Ye wo ba bia ne kosi o ye over 8,000 7,000 kusia. Obi wa kusia ni nyina ye mre. Emra ne ba wo no be den. Enti eba ne saa na ye man we num kakra ewuma by 1 month 2 months na asansesa different one man. Afi ye be kire mre a unu kru be hia obewo ba.
I would not dispute the fact that herbal medicine is good, but I would advise herbalists or people who offer herbal treatment to their clients to prepare them under strict hygienic conditions.
Na ye de amount ebu a ye obrofedua brofre ni dua no ye oba ye obema asintini no ye yisu eno ka ho na mosuru ni yisu bema no asintini e de ka ho obi nyim 3 months a ewedura ye de ma no 9 months ewedura ye de ma no obi wo ho a so hwe.
The fact that some women are desperate to conceive does not mean herbalists should give them any herbal mixture to drink. Herbal medicines should be treated well.
Enti ye wa haban a so bindi 2 months a e was de ma no 4 months e de ma no 7 months 9 months e de ma no. Eti mesre se ahaban no egu ahodo ma obi ansori ka se meye heba amafo okọ ama omo wuwie nso no munya problem obe wuwie no echi na afi onya problem osi ni yem ontumi nda sei ebi wona abana aduna no wodin eti mesre se abana yetete no yehu time bia ne na haban a yede be mapemfo.
He always ensures that couples, and especially women who visit him to seek guidance to conceive, go for a thorough medical checkup in the hospital before he proceeds to recommend some form of herbal treatment.
Esane se yen yen krefidi a yede hwehwe nipa munu nti oba na ohia ba yesi ko hospital na doctor anko hwew se wa wo de no problem aba ho ana e ma ho ye saba ho a omo an betumi aya no maye enti se obi ba ha ye ma na edi kan ye ma ne hospital first na doctor hwe no.
I will advise women who are struggling to conceive to always visit the hospital for medical checkup before seeking alternative means.
Ebia yen start we because we no ano odin we eni ne yake kan ano odin ye the way na be start amount ye posa e the amount ye posa the amount ebia 2 weeks 1 month afi ebe kulu system no mama ye se ne ba ye amount edro we a ebe ejuma aha amount bebre ba ha omo say daddy ye peba ya wo friend saying ya hospital anye yi ye deny say mo bi in hospital e was obi ko ye nyina ye ko eti wo say omo hospital no nom ko doctor na doctor nkan say ebia problem say ene wo ho eti say doctor no ohwe na operation obetumi a oye wa ebi ti say fibroid to me see awo kwan fibroid it me see awo kwan enu say we de ba ha who delay time e was say you operative na fibroid no fi kwam na wo da na no ye free na wo.
According to Prophet Peter Addo, he is sometimes traumatized by the troubled state some women who are eager to conceive are in because of the backlash from the family and society. He's ready to help curb the stigma attached to infertility.
Stigma from infertility is becoming worrying since it tends to increase cases of fake pregnancies and theft of babies. I'm therefore pleading with society to stop shaming women who are unable to conceive naturally. It's no fault of theirs. Infertility, particularly in our part of the world, has serious consequences on those affected, especially women. This may include abuse, humiliation, divorce, disrupting family relations and stigmatization.
Yesu Kristo yedi n'echine mo nkyerɛ me ne ba wo ye. Yesu Kristo yedi n'echi ye nkyerɛ ba owo. Wan be wo ba. Paul say ono de otu yemfo say esena mo hunam akono nti. Na mu sanke betumi a nipa nyina ye so no Paul. Wan ware. Eti hunam akono nti na ntumi ntena. Ena ubetumi awo akwara enne ochina obeda no yarefo eno nso ubetumi awo akwara enne obi awo 7 ni ma 7 nyina ewu obi awo baba akon ade ababa akon na yama no eche nkwara 10 enti ni amesre awofo no se erade ne maba se nu mmere ne ya mempre ho eno nti na amafo kọ eduro su kwaji ba no monum ho eti ento yembo ase.
Just as some women travel as far as they can in search of herbal treatments, so do herbal consultants work for mouths to get potent plant medicines for them. On one of his usual routines to pick up plants and herbs from the forest to help some women who had consulted him, the news team joined him.
The bark of this tree is potent enough to prepare herbal medicines for women to conceive. It prepares their womb.
Obi wo ha na ntia na wo ayedin ene say bia wa ya abortion ama the tube na ayemre bo oba on kan okrankyere say waya abortion be 5 na we won say waya abortion wa fa dura no odin etina bo say na tube no ayemre eti eba ne sa na dua we ye wai bi ene ada tube e ka ho ene aban ye de be ma wan for 3-4 months ye ma wi a afei ye be kirew hawa onoma ebesi ayew ne any side infection bia just say we no esisi tube no ka edrona ya de nuano e kokọ aban no very very powerful.
Cocoa leaves are also good for the herbal treatment.
System no. Get my water. No, the journey is too far. We a few of them. We enfa we ma apen so be per by enfa ma no, but obi ni ma ye ma ne drona na adwene se e ne efifi wo fam no ye oba ko bi e wa be ho eno na ye yisu eti se ye te aba no ma na adwene se e we bia wan we na wa mistake.
Some herbs are similar to others, so we are extra careful when we go to the forest to look for herbs.
No difference. But yemfa ne wo fifi wo fam no ye wo ba ko bi fifi wa be ho ye kwa me kire mo. eti we anyway say unima the same thing, but
it is important to be vigilant whilst looking for herbs. If there is a mix-up, the herbal treatment can be poisonous.
Na uprano we all poison, but we any near I'll be peba na say binyima ye de man ba enye no kwaye wo abena nkasa nso yesu abena nkasa e de kan na wo de aye ade nsi se nkwan ye wo nan bi wa wo de be fra wo be ni se nkwan na wano umfa ndi hwe we kro na nso ye de edru wo be hata ebe wo ewuya ye odua bi ye friend tendru unya sa tendru e de kan ba hu a se obebi wo ha se ofanyin sen na asai ofanyin sen na asai se wo be hu yan ye kan ba we ni tendru ni ba ko bi kan pe won se nyin sen be gina obewo enti we de anka my advice say we no say obi de ma na oni medu a unu ma unwu but also we yefu no the correct one abedie no it difference no uni ma we fi say the same thing but difference wo ansa na obo difference wo na say wo de nipa no ba kokoo na se ma ne kire it difference e wo medamasi.
It's actually been a long walk with Prophet Peter Addo to look for some herbs for some women, I should say, are desperate to conceive because of some societal pressures. And we got what we were looking for. It's just that the journey to get these herbs wasn't that easy.
At Adeso, a community in the eastern region, I met a 78-year-old man who has been into plant medicines since age 14. In the community, he is known as number 69 because of the supportive role he has played in the lives of many people, especially men and women in the community and neighboring communities who had fertility problems and needed help to conceive.
I started preparing herbal medicines at a very young age. Aside treating other ailments, one of my areas of expertise is helping both women and men to become fertile.
Planted around his house are a variety of herbal plant species that he uses for his work. On the issue of infertility, alias number 69 said that some years ago it was mostly women who visited his home for herbal treatment, but the tables have turned now, with the men or couples visiting him more often.
When I'm treating infections in women, I grind my herbs for the mixture. Through my efforts, a lot of women have become pregnant.
Container butusu also na mediation ke me cheki adina me fese awudi nu anu asili afindasi ntina wo me mbama ba ko obato obada obahye o hye nantia ebe fiato anti tama ubada na washe nti se wo da faako ke wo mu abe se 15 minutes going waya sinu bonunu na wo ba no beti wo mu nti ne ewi namunu pe ebebue ebuya usu potopoto bi be fi wo mu embon na eyenyan to bepe anka on se big frag for anka jua be se 6 atwitwa agbo nso anim o di adware di bia aworo wase sanyan no atiko na kwa abue atene tambia woni hu kanfo ba hia no jusu no se be fm ko straight wa awudan no na wa se yinsimba.
Back in the greater Accra region of Ghana, to Chemwena at Choko, meet Madame Doris Sefabwache, who for the past 15 years served women with infertility issues, not only in Ghana but from other parts of the Africa region, such as Togo.
Ebi free ada kra abewo womensem. Ebi free Togo ekra ba abewo womensem.
I have helped countless women with infertility issues, and some of them travel from other countries for the herbal treatment. Usually, it's their last resort when orthodox medicine fails.
Madam didn't start here cry there or no crano, no see fisi a wound no. Ni brampa hodra. When ye what he a friend coco, ni brampa hodra. And me cousin back kitchen said, Besinko me mammy. And no buy. Oh, was it? Oh, just say, Unya ya, best say 40 years, dear. Oh, Benya. Or no said, don't you one in any penishia, when winning said you.
Madame Doris Sefabwache said because of the effort she extends to women who are crestfallen due to fertility challenges, they open up and share their experiences in their 10, 15, 20 years of marriage without children.
Be crossing how a bin massinum eti won. Swim. Enti banesa na eti bako kra de no si ujaye aware. I'm catching so many onyamene eti se oba na se wa anye ya na vinti oba ya no so ye man atete.
I always do not understand why women are always slammed when couples are unable to conceive due to the stigma. Some of them leave their marriages, whereas others who are not interested in adoption end up stealing babies.
She said there is limited education and knowledge of the causes of infertility, resulting in stigmatization. She said some women who call on her usually have some medical conditions such as fibroid and infections which are not treated on time and may result in infertility crisis, while others do not have any medical condition.
Fibroids and infections are some of the possible causes of infertility among women, and with men who also have infertility issues. Sexually transmitted diseases are likely to cause medical problems if early treatment is not sought.
Na me so okay, me so metry said metry me dey na hwesi be ya. On obi won so a oye family planning, na fe opeso wo no. Wa ya ema san krofo no so se wo ye won wadru a ebe bransan na won wanya. Enti won ba ye no ebe bransan na ba. Enti won ba ye no me ka kire won se Sa wɔn a ebi wɔ hɔ no ma me ma wɔn gallon baako no. Wɔn no mo no obi wɔ kora wɔn no mu nwie kora no wɔnyi nsen. Na wɔn deɛ ne deɛ ɛyɛ ade a ɛbɛkyɛ. Efisɛ duro no ɛwɔ wɔn mu. Eti ɛyɛ saa eni ho kwan sɛ wo pa aba. Eti sɛ wan pa aba na wo kɔ so na sɛ wo ya. Enla obi anso ne sɛnea ne yɛfun tie. Obi wɔ hɔ no ma ɔnom gallon half no a ebi wɔ kora votic baako. Me de ma no a otimi nyinsɛn na wawo. Obi wɔ bɛnom gallon baako. Obi wɔ no so a family planning for ne bi otimi no be sɛ miensa. Ansa na obi nyinsɛn ebi wɔ kora na efiri sɛnea obi a ne yɛfun eti.
Some women who have once gone through some form of herbal treatment to conceive or make their pregnancy stable said that just as herbal treatment is equally good for some women, it is also important for women to often go for regular checkups with their partners in the hospital to know their fertility status for the necessary treatment.
Me fa sama me fa ye funu no ma me to sa fomuduro ni bi maye. No to ai bia ye nua ne ye nom.
I started using herbal medicine immediately I conceived, but I never mixed them with my other. My mother advised me to use herbal treatment Herbal medicines are very good if properly treated. I used some till I conceived, especially when I was having issues with low blood count. Herbal medicines are very good if properly treated. I used some till I conceived, especially when I was having issues with low blood count.
Living with infertility is very distressing, particularly for women due to stigma. It is associated with mental health issues such as depression, suicidal ideations, insults, lack of sexual desires, and even divorce. In most parts of rural Ghana, the stigma attached to infertility is rife, and this, according to statistics, has led to the increasing demand for herbal medicines over the years by women. No matter how precarious or how far the journey might be, these women will go all lengths to get their problems solved. It is therefore essential that communities are educated on the causes and treatment of infertility, as well as on how they can support such women and help improve their well-being. Furthermore, it is also being suggested that communities, faith-based organizations, and gender-related institutions should sensitize their members on marriage and the possible challenges. This will go a long way to educate prospective couples before marriage on infertility and prefer better approaches to such issues and how such situations can be handled. For GBC News, Oforiwa Darko reporting.